Hey guys, what's up? Will here once again. I'm going to give you my kind of quick picks for the Ultimate Fighter finale, which goes on tomorrow night. We kind of got all the card sorted out. I think the weigh-ins have just taken place. Just watched that there. So I'm just going to give you some of my quick picks for the fights tomorrow. It's just a weird card. Like all the Gull fights that are on there, and um, like I've not seen any of the betting lines or anything yet, but I think the betting lines are going to be really inflated, and I'm just not really sure with with this
The
card
betting lines,
tomorrow.
Anthony.
So it's just a little bit of a weird card, and we've had the finale is changed from Sujara Banks, Nico Montano to Nico Montano against Roxanne Modafferi, which is a little bit of a weird one. It's just weird. It's weird you're going to have like a 3-2 or 4-2 girl in Nico Montano against Roxanne Modafferi like a UFC champion. It's just a little bit weird saying that. And when you've got people like Joanna Champion and Valentina Shevchenko and there's other fighters you could put in that category that could be a UFC champion. Yeah, it's just hey, what's up, Fabio? I'm good, dude. Just waiting for my little one to wake up. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. Just waiting for plus I finished work about 2 hours ago. A nasty 14-hour shift at work. So I'm just wanting to get this baby fed and then get to my bed myself, and then enjoy some fights over the weekend. So hope you're well. I know we've got some similar picks I've seen on the MMA tips who you've went with for this card. So you're very similar to myself for 218. But getting back to UFC TUF finale, I'm going to start off. I'm not going to give you too much because I didn't know who was going to be in the fight on the card. I've seen the fights from the show, and nothing was really that great. It really blew me away. But we'll start off down in the bottom with Gillian Robertson against Emily Whitmere. Emily's a very young fighter, like 22 years old. I think she's got a 3-2 record training out American Top Team, and yeah, she went out in the show and went out to Barb Hornchak, who has got so much more experience. She's like 15, 16 years older than her. She's been fighting for like 10 years, got a definitive wrestling background, and she used that to advantage and just found aspects of the game really hard against Barb. And yeah, I just think that it's just crazy talking about girls with these kind of fights that are coming into the UFC, and hopefully it wouldn't surprise the UFC are going to have to keep them around because they have to build a division. Because look what they did with the women's featherweight division; it's pretty much non-existent except for one or two women. So if I'm looking at it, I think I'm going to go with Emily Whitmere. She beat Christina Marks on the show, and then she kind of got injured, and then Roxanne just really kind of had a way with her and took her out in the first round. She's training in Vegas, so she's probably known what's going on here. She's got all the travel, everything sorted, being at home and not having to travel and all that jazz. But thing is with this card as well, I haven't had a look. I don't know if the betting lines are out for this card. Let me have a look. 5 times best fight picks, even best fight odds. Oh, the odds are out. Okay, so if we're looking at it, where are we? Emily Whitmere minus 185 to Gillian Robertson's plus 145. It's probably about right. But having a look at just initial look at some of these huge lines that which are really quite crazy. I think we're probably going to have a few girls that are going to come through as serious dogs. It wouldn't surprise me if that happens tomorrow. I'm going to pick Emily Whitmere and just hope that she comes through. But hey, what's up, Ricky? What's up, Mulatto? Hope that they come through, but I'm really not confident in the majority of these picks here. So I'm going to go Emily Whitmere in by a decision. A decision prop might not be a bad thing for this card as well. So we'll just wait and see what's happening with that there. Ariel Beck against Shayna Dobson, low level fight. Ariel Beck was the girl I watched in Invicta. She lost to Raquel Ostovich fairly easy. I think she got subbed in that one, if I remember right. Yeah, I think she's lost like 2 or 3 fights in a row as well. Sheena Dobson, it's pretty much a striker versus grappler here. Beck being the striker and Dobson being the kind of the grappler. I'm going to pick Dobson. I think she can get takedowns in this girl. I think that Ariel Beck's slow. She doesn't really throw well, kind of off the back foot. She really coming forward. She doesn't throw that well. She's got no head movement. She gets hit with leg kicks fairly easily. She's very just a stationary fighter who just throws not great technical shots. So I'm going on Shayna Dobson to win that fight kind of by takedown. So I'm going to pick her by decision. A fight that kind of has been garnering a lot of attention on Twitter. Keen Gavorsian against Raquel Ostovich-Berdon. Raquel Ostovich, if you don't follow her or you've not seen her before, she's a pretty girl out of Hawaii with some pretty talented parts of her body, which a lot of kind of perverts are throwing around on Twitter and Facebook and so on. Overall, as a fighter, she's not bad. She's not great really either. So she puts herself in like really bad positions. She did that in the Andrea Lee fight. She's a strong girl. She can get takedowns. At times, she can be quite technical with her grappling and so on. But she leaves mistakes open for there to be hit upon. She did it in that fight against Andrea Lee, where she got the armbar, and then she got TKO'd by Christine Ferreira with a win over Ariel Beck. In fact, it was a split. It wasn't a finish, like I was saying. Yeah, and from what I see out of Keen Gavorsian, she's like a predominantly a striker with very little takedown defense. She came in overweight for this one as well. It'd be interesting to see if the last like 5 or 6 fighters that have missed weight have won the fight over in Sydney and Shanghai. So it'll be interesting to see if it continues with this one here. I'm going to pick Raquel Ostovich. I think UFC would like this girl to win for the simple fact she is a bit of a looker. And she saw her fights are exciting. The fight against Andrea Lee was exciting while it lasted. She's not overly great. Majority of these girls are not that great, but Keen Gavorsian, very little that we know about her over there. She fights in kind of like the Armenian fight scene, and that's not saying much. So I'm going to go Raquel Ostovich there by maybe a submission. I'll go submission the 3rd round. Middleweight division, Andrew Sanchez against Ryan James. Just saw the win for these two, and like there's a clear height advantage for Ryan James, a big size advantage as well. I think Sanchez is definitely going to be the faster fighter. Overall, I think he's the better fighter. I don't think he gets hit as much, especially when he's fresh. He doesn't get hit as much as what Ryan James does. Ryan James is just like his chin is in the air for everybody to hit upon. I was really surprised that Jack Marshman never knocked him out in Glasgow back in the summer. Took a hell of a lot of shots, but Ryan James stayed around and he actually hit Jack Marshman with some shots, which surprised me. Ryan James has went and trained this whole camp at Rufus Sport. From all accounts, from what I'm hearing from a few fighters that I've kind of spoke to regarding this, he's actually did very well. He's adjusted to like Milwaukee very well, and he's really enjoyed his time out there. And I think I just like Andrew Sanchez in this one. Ryan James, I'm surprised he got kept after the Glasgow fight, in all honesty. Sanchez, I think the UFC would want this guy to win more because he won the Ultimate Fighter and so on. So I'm going to go Andrew Sanchez. I think he can put a pace on, and I think he can find the chin of Ryan James, whose hands are always low and his chin's always in the air, and that's never a good sign in the UFC. So Andrew Sanchez, I'm going to pick via a decision there. Christina Marks against Montana De La Rosa. Montana, I'm going to pick here. It's another one of these striker versus grapplers fights here. Marks was a kickboxer. Montana is a high school wrestler. Yeah, not much to go on there. We've seen them on the show. Montana won her first fight. Christina Marks lost her fight. She lost to Emily Whitney in the first round. I think she's got pretty much a 500 record. And Montana beat Ariel Beck via sub in the first round before losing to Nico Montano. I'm just, I found out a few hours ago about this fight, these fights, and I was going to go and watch a little bit of tape on it, but it was late. Worked a long ass shift at work, so I thought I'd sit down and watch a little bit of NFL and catch up with some interviews of today and just see what was going on with Embedded and so on, see if any crazy shit happened. But getting back to the fight, I'm going to pick Montana De La Rosa, Montana Stewart. I think that was our maiden name. I think she can garner takedowns, and I think she can sub this girl as well. So I'll go for a finish, even though it's probably going to be a decision. Montana Stewart via a second round submission. But see, some of these lines are way off, which I've just looked at there. So yeah. Sorry, that page went back there. Moving on, this is the fight I'm looking forward to, I think, the most out of the whole entire card. Joe Soto against Brett Jones. Really interesting fight. Real nice kind of step up an opponent, I think, for Brett Jones. It's what he needed after Albert Morales. Even he said himself on my good friend John, who I do the podcast with on the MMA Huddle YouTube page, he did with Brett Jones. Brett said he didn't really show up for that fight against Albert Morales, and he looked fairly dominant. So if that's going to be his worst performance, and where he feels flat, then he did all right with that. So Joe Soto is a guy I think who can push a pace early on, and can definitely, when it goes to the ground, can cause Brett Jones problems. But Brett has a really, really good ground game, really stifling ground game. He's good against jiu-jitsu guys where he knows when to move and maneuver to not get caught in a position of submission. Soto gasses a little bit, and I think that's where Brett's going to just outwork him a little bit. I think the first round or two is going to be close, but I think Brett will come on strong. He's fought hard for 5 rounds when he was in Titan a few years back, so he's got that experience there. He fought hard in Cage Warriors as well. Really cool guy. Really hope he goes over to Vegas and gets a nice win here. Soto's very dangerous. Initially, I was thinking Soto. When this fight was made months back, I thought Soto's really tough. He's on a 3-fight win streak. His opponents aren't great, but a win over Rani Yahya where he did gash really badly and he put himself in some bad positions. He still came through that one. I think that Brett Jones' pressure and ability to kind of stifle Joe Soto on the ground is going to win him rounds. But I think it'll be 29-28 for Brett Jones. Diana Bennett against Melinda Fabian. Fabian's fighting on the Hungarian regional scene, and really that's very, very low level. And she lost to Raquel Ostovich on the show. She's somebody that's willing to learn, but she's just way behind where she needs to be. To even be on the show, she shouldn't really be on there. Diana Bennett, we know who she is. She's been around in Invicta for the longest time. Always kind of struggles to make the weight. It was at 115 that she used to struggle right enough. But losses to Livia Souza, who's now in the UFC, Roxanne Modafferi, who's tough, and a veteran, and Jodie Escobel, who just kind of beat her up on the feet a little bit. She got knocked out badly by Sahara Banks on the show with a massive head kick. I've always actually been a fan of Diana Bennett, but I think once this division gets established, there's a lot of fighters that will beat her. I don't think Melinda Fabian will be that here, so I'm picking Diana Bennett to win a pretty comfortable 30-27, if not a finish in there. Eric Spicely against Jared Mearshart. Been going back and forward with this one. This is the fight in the card where I'm really kind of drifting a little bit. I'll tell you who I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Eric Spicely. I think in a matchup where I'm a little bit close with both fighters, I'm not sure where I go. I'm going to go with Eric Spicely. I think he can control the fight on the ground if he needs to, but also he needs to be careful because he did get caught by Sam Alvey in a submission. Sam doesn't really submit very many people. Jared's actually a pretty well-rounded fighter. I think he has a little bit trouble with his gas tank a little bit, but I think it's just a close fight, and when it's a close fight like that, I'd take the shot on Underdog, which I think he is. Not that I'm going to be betting it. There's a lot of bets I want to make this week, and I cannot make it for the life of me. So I think the only ones I have right now is Alex Oliveira and Tisha Torres. There's so many other ones I like. Jared Mearshart. So Eric Spicely's plus 165, which a little bit. So we'll just need to wait and see. I'm going to go with the dog though. I think it's going to be a sloppy fight, be back and forth. But ultimately, I'm going to take Eric Spicely, but no real confident whatsoever. And like I say, Chris is just staying there. Mearshart always gets blasted, which is true, to be fair. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure kind of how to go with that fight. So yeah, whereabouts are we? Let's see. Lauren Murphy against Barb Honchak. I'm always going to try and fade Lauren Murphy. I don't think she's that great. I think Barb Honchak does have the credentials to be a really top fighter. She is getting old now. She's like 37, 38. She went away for a few years, had a family, came back, and yeah, Lauren Murphy, she was supposed to face this Brazilian girl, this Priscilla Cachiora, who I watched her fights, and Jesus, she just comes out swinging. She's got no technique. Her chin's there to be hit by anybody with any technique. They can throw kind of straight punches down the pipe. But I think if Barb's is going to take her down, but Lauren is tough. So I'm just kind of going on that. It's this fight's, like, this card's just hard to pick winners. I'm just not 100% sure, and I'm not overly confident in any picks. I don't even know whether I'm going to be watching, which is not like me. I'll maybe watch a few, but I'm not going to be staying up till 6 a.m. to watch Roxanne Modafferi try and win a UFC title. That's for damn sure. I'm going to pick Barb Honchak. I think she's going to wrestle and repeat and just outgrind Lauren Murphy pretty much the whole entire fight. So Honchak via decision. The co-main event of the night. This one's actually really intriguing. Sean O'Malley against Terrion Ware. I'm seeing a lot of action on Terrion Ware, and to be fair, I think it's justified. I'm going to pick Sean O'Malley. I don't know what it is. I think the UFC know what they're doing in matchups like this. They're giving him someone who I think he can look good against, but it's also, I think, could give Sean O'Malley a problem as well. He's going to have a definitive size advantage. I think he's going to have the speed advantage. I do think he gashes out a little bit. I do think he gets taken down as well. There is fights, if you go back and watch, where he gets taken down, he gets sloppy, and he can get taken down. So he's probably got 8-9 minutes of this fight where he'll need to try and knock out Terrion Ware, and Terrion Ware's never been knocked out due to strikes, I don't think. So that, and he's faced like good guys like Leandro Higo and so on. But I've seen like short people betting on Terrion Ware, and I think it's worth the shot, honestly. If he can not get hit with the big shots in the first half of the fight, then I think he could come into this here. I think he could get takedowns. Like the kind of fight that you need is someone who's decent on the feet with takedowns, like Cody Stamann was. So, but I do like the boxing of Terrion Ware. If you go back and watch some of his fights in the regionals, he does look fairly decent with some of his boxing. So I'm going to go Sean O'Malley to stop him. I've got no real confidence in it. But I think the UFC know what they're doing by matching him up against Terrion Ware here. He's either going to come out and smoke him, or Terrion Ware's maybe going to grind and get him by decision. That's where I see the fight going. If I'm picking Sean O'Malley, I don't see him winning a decision. So I'm going to pick a TKO early round or late round number 1. So it'd be a big come up in the books for that if Sean could take out Terry in the first round. And Nico Montano against Roxanne Modafferi to see who the first UFC 125-pound champion will be. Fucking Roxanne Modafferi is fighting for a UFC title, and I never thought I'd ever say those words. Nico on the show, she beat a really tough run of girls to get there, and she's earned her right to be there. I mean, Lauren Murphy, she's not great, but she's very tough. Montana Stewart is the same, not overly great, but she's tough. She can wrestle. And then Barb Honchak was a turn up for the books, in my opinion, beating her and then getting on the show here. I'm going to pick Roxanne Modafferi to win this, and yeah, I think I need to check myself into like an asylum for that. I think she's going to. I can't believe she could be a UFC champion in close to 24 hours time. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. I just think she's really experienced. She's tough. She's been literally at every level of the sport. She's a pioneer of the sport, in all honesty. And since she left from the UFC a couple of years back, she went and had a nice run in there. She was the number 1 seed on the show, which was a little bit surprising to me. But I think she's just got too much experience. She's really good on like the grappling side of things. Her striking's not great. She was throwing hands with Sijara Banks. I watched that earlier on tonight when it was on UK TV. I had it recorded and watched that back. But Sijara was just too powerful, too strong. I don't think Nico's going to be like that. I think that if she takes Roxanne down, I think Roxy could definitely switch. And what's the betting odds for this one? You can definitely switch positions. So she's plus 155. That surprises me that she's off with that a little bit, considering that Nico's only had 5 fights. So I'm going to pick Roxanne Modafferi. These are like really quick picks. I've really not watched I have watched a lot of Roxanne fights, obviously, but yeah, I just think these picks are coming. I'm kind of shooting from the hip, and I'm going with them. So dog or pass for me here. So I'm going to go with the experience of Roxanne Modafferi, and yeah, so that's my quick picks for the TUF 26 finale. I think I'm going to stick around for another probably 10, 20 minutes before this little one of mine. I have to go wake her up and get her fed. So if you want to throw me questions, guys, or some of the bets that you've got this week, or some of the DraftKings questions you have this week, then by all means, send them in. And I'm just keeping myself awake, talking some fights, watching some football. So, has anybody got any bets for tomorrow night? Because I've got literally no bets. I want to make a couple, but I think that the lines are just too inflated for any. Even the dogs that I've picked, they're not confident dogs whatsoever. So yeah. Chris Dillon. Where is game? Where is game? To be fair, but I think the UFC are picking a good matchup for O'Malley. They want the kid to win. Plain and simple, they want that guy to win. They'll give him a challenge, but I think they see something in O'Malley. I'm not 100% sold on him, but I just think the UFC they know what they want from this kid. So he's got a good shot. I agree that. Though if you want to bet dogs in this card, I think Terry Weir's game is hell. Like really, he's someone that you could put your money on, and he could give you a performance where he could beat this kid. I mean, the guy's not. He was kind of getting beaten up in that Dana White show as well by Edmund Tavernian's guy, is it Alfred Chuksagan or something like that. So yeah. Which underdog do you think has the best shot at winning? Eddie looks interesting. I like Alistair Overeem. Like I really do, and I haven't bet him yet because I'm waiting. The lines are still going up. In the UK over here, if you give me a wee second, I think he's plus 240 that I've seen, which is kind of crazy for a guy in Ngannou who's like wrecked opponents, to be fair, but he still doesn't warrant being that much of a favourite, I don't think, over Alistair Overeem. So Alistair Overeem, what is he? Plus 220. So I'm sure I've seen that higher somewhere. It's maybe higher in the States. I like Alistair Overeem. I don't know what it is. I want Francis to win, but I think Alistair is. I think Alistair's live. I think he can hit and run. If you look at all the aspects of this outside of the power, and he has power as well. He's clearly the better fighter than what Francis Ngannou is. But Francis Ngannou is one of those fighters that makes massive leaps every fight, and Alistair Overeem, it doesn't take much to put this guy down. So I think I will end up betting Alistair Overeem, but it'll be a very, very small bet. It'll be nothing too much. But at the odds, if it's 220 to 240 in that region, it's worth a shot in it, in my opinion. At least a half unit, whatever that is, or like whatever you betting wise is. Outside of that, on the card, I think that Courtney Casey is a little bit live. I think that Sergio Pettis is definitely live. If you want to bet on that, yeah, there's a few. There's not. I don't think there's that many tomorrow night, but Saturday night is going to be a great night of fights, and it kind of sucks. I'm going to miss majority of the fights on Saturday night until probably the main card at 3 a.m. It starts over here because I have my Christmas night out with my fellow work colleagues. So we're going out early and we'll probably be out late. But we'll see. I'll probably be back for the main card. What's up, Wickedy Split? Hope you're good, man. What do you think of close at 150? See, that's the fight. If I had to change a pick for my 2-team picks, I think close is definitely live. I think 150 is value. I think it's Tamar to be fair, I think he's looked really good. But he's never faced a kind of in your nose kind of a grinder than what Drakkar Klose can be. So I think he's very, very live. And if you're looking at a shot and an underdog, it's not a bad one to make actually. It's one that I actually like Drakkar Klose for DraftKings because I think if he wins he's going to get takedowns, but I don't think he's going to keep Tamar there. So yeah, I think there's value there though. Didn't close beat Mark Diakese. He beat Mark Diakese. Yeah, he did. Really nice win. Really, really nice win, actually. I watched that back yesterday, it was. Mark was kind of, I think, believing his own hype a little bit, and Closer being the tough-nosed guy was just there, got some takedowns and just kind of controlled the fight where he wanted to control it. And he comes from a great camp at the MMA Labs, so they game plan very, very well. Spoke to Ronda Rousey's mum last week on Instagram Live. Mum told me she doesn't want her to fight anymore. I don't want Ronda to fight anymore. Ronda doesn't need to fight anymore. No, she's got married to Big Travis, and she'll be settling down. It wouldn't surprise me if we've seen a baby coming the scene fairly soon. But yeah, Ronda, hopefully she stays in shape, because sometimes she balloons up, and that's kind of not great to see, considering how much a kind of physical athlete she has looked in like photo shoots and stuff. When she looks nice and svelte, she actually looks a pretty nice girl. When she balloons up, she looks kind of terrible. So Close couldn't finish Devin Powell. Devin Powell's one of the lowest level guys I've ever seen. But yeah, it's a weird fight. I hope David Tamer wins. Him and his brother are really cool guys. I got speaking to David and Daniel at Glasgow card, and I was speaking to David about, I think he was on the Ultimate Fighter. He was talking to Cody about his pants, his underwear. He needs to change his underwear, and he started laughing. He tried to explain. Now he can explain it better because he knows more English. And he said, like, everybody knew what he was meaning. But still a cool guy. I'd like him to win, but I think Closer is a really tough matchup as well. So interesting. Gaethje finished 4 fights. Justin Gaethje's leg kicks are fucking brutal, like brutal. He like chops him down. That guy's a Terminator when he wants to be. But his time's coming where he's going to be put down. There's no doubt about it. So yeah, it's just, I like Justin Gaethje. I really want to bet Justin Gaethje, but it's that feeling that all it takes is one shot and that guy could be put down. And that's the same with any fighter saying that. But with a guy who's so aggressive and forward thinking, and Eddie can catch you if you come forward. He did it with Dos Anjos. He hit Poirier with a big shot as well. So yeah, I might, depending. I think the line over here in the UK is -175, and that's, I think, it's good to. But I haven't seen the props. The props will probably be out when I wake up and early in the morning. So even though it's like 2:30 a.m. over here, nearly 2:30. So probably very early in the morning, the props will come out for 218. I'll look into the Gaethje and Alvarez fights, but I'm crap with props. So yeah. Born in the same Cali hospital as Cain Velasquez. Nice. You helped me cash in Diego Sanchez when he fought Marcin Held. Perfect matchup for Diego Sanchez. Marcin Held has no striking. He's going to grapple. Diego Sanchez can grapple. And being in Mexico, he's not going to outwork him. So glad you cashed on that one. I think I did as well, if I remember betting against them. Yeah, I did. Talking combat sports, man. I could talk combats. Yeah, sorry, I'm tired, guys. I could talk combat sports all night long if I had to. That's why I like coming on here and speaking with you guys. It's just it's pretty cool just seeing different fans from different places around the world, different opinions. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm very wrong, sometimes you're right, and sometimes you're very wrong. That's just what I like to hear and like to see. So yeah. Better cheap play for DK. Aldo. I think Aldo is. I've got this feeling that Jose Aldo's going to show up for the first couple of rounds, but then he's going to get smoked and get put down again. So, yeah, it's a tough one. It's tough. I think that Pettis is going to stick around for 3 rounds, so he could, if he stops takedowns, he's going to get strikes off and he's going to accumulate points. But he needs to have a kind of high output to hit his landmark of 70 in like 10 times his price. So probably his ceiling of points is maybe 80 to 85. He's not going to get takedowns in Cejudo, so he's going to have to land a lot of volume strikes against Cejudo. And Cejudo, I thought, looked really good against Wilson Hayes. I liked his range. I thought he was dictating that really, really well, and it's hard to bet against a Pettis brother for me, but sometimes it's got to be done. I just think it's the time to do it with Cejudo. So same feeling with Aldo and Holloway. You know what? See, I've had a funny feeling that Jose Aldo's just going to show up and be the Jose Aldo of old, but when I think he's taken too many shots, I think his speed's left him a little bit, and he's coming in here. Of course, he was training for a fight in a few weeks' time against Lamas, so he was kind of fight ready, but he was like 3/4 of the way through his camp, and he's had to kind of ramp up these last 10 days or however it is against Max Holloway. But at least he knows what he's against Max Holloway. So I just think Holloway's like one of my biggest thing that I like with Max Holloway, and there's lots of things to like about Max Holloway. I like fighters who can adjust mid-fight. Now, he took a lot of shots in those first 2 rounds against Aldo, but he adjusted, and then he just threw some lovely combinations. He moved his head and his body a little bit more to the right, and he obviously caught some nice shots there. But yeah, it's pretty awesome to see like someone like Max Holloway. Max Holloway's only 25 years old. That's fucking scary, man. How long that guy's been around, and how many good people he's beat. And if he wins this fight, I mean, he's beat Jose, the greatest featherweight of all time, and Jose Aldo as well. And he's been in there with Conor, didn't let himself down. Like, what the fuck's going on with Conor McGregor at the minute as well? Jeez, supposedly he's fighting with mob cartel in Dublin, Ireland, and he's asking them to come and find them and stuff. So it's like crazy shit. Personally, I don't think we're going to see Conor ever fight again. There's all these stories as well that he will not fight on any other card with any like top grossing PPV UFC champion. He kind of wants all the dollars for himself, which yeah, Conor. It's kind of weird being a Conor fan now because you can't really defend him at all a little bit right now because he's making a lot of kind of silly decisions, but he is kind of just, I think when you got a 28 or 29-year-old with 100 million in the bank or so, you're going to make some silly decisions. But he needs to remember he's got a kid now. He should be growing up a little bit. So yeah, I'm from Ireland. No, I'm from Scotland. I'm across the water, so not that far away. But Ireland is one of my most favourite places in the world, north and south. There's a little bit. Sometimes it can be a wee bit different places you can go. But I was at Belfast last year. I was at Dublin 2 years before that, or the last 2 years before that. So I love Ireland a lot. Get some of the greatest people in the world. It felt like I was in Ireland, and when I was in Las Vegas at UFC 189, was one of the craziest scenes I've ever been around. Yeah, they took over Vegas that weekend. Michael, who's in here, Michael J, he was with me. He's seen how that goes. He's a resident of Las Vegas, and he'll probably tell you the amount of crazy Irish people there was nuts, and like they were non-stop, literally non-stop partying from the minute I got in Tuesday afternoon to when I left on Sunday night. They were just partying. I've seen some crazy scenes on the Las Vegas strips with those crazy Irish people. So yeah. But as I say, I don't know when I'm going to make any bets for this card. Brett Jones saying that is minus 165. Now, I thought he was up. Well, different cards are saying like, because I thought he was like minus 230, 220. But obviously the line's coming down a little bit, and Brett Jones is minus 165. I don't know what he is in the UK over here. Brett Jones. Let's see, what's Brett Jones' best line? Minus 170. It's quite interesting. If Brett Jones maybe gets to minus 150, I might parlay him up with one of the goals on the show, maybe. Or maybe not. I might put him with someone at 218. Someone like maybe a Cejudo. Maybe. Might get close to plus money, or I might get just below that, but still. Conor was just he's going a little bit off the rails, and he just needs to chill down a little bit. The thing with Conor is he's always been big on his teammates. Like, he's obviously done a lot for Artem. He's done a lot for Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward would never be in the UFC if it wasn't for Conor McGregor. There's a lot of new fighters coming through from SBG that you maybe actually see a couple in the next Ultimate Fighter series that they're going to be doing, like the Undefeated, I think they're doing. And I think it's bantamweights, featherweights, and welterweights that are going to be on the undefeated fighters. I know there's a guy that I know from Scotland, Ross Houston, who is looking to go over there and get on the show. He's like 5-0. Kiefer Crosby from SBG Ireland. He's 3-0 at welterweight, and he's looking, I think it's welterweight, sorry, that he's looking to go on the show as well. So I might have some home interest in the next episode or the next edition of The Ultimate Fighter. See The Ultimate Fighter this year, have you guys watched it at all? So I've watched little bits, but I haven't watched. I'm actually probably one of the few that's a big fan of Ultimate Fighter. I don't know, there's a lot of people that talk bad of it, but this is the first year I really haven't watched anything on it whatsoever. So what do I think of the Bellator heavyweight tourney? I think it's fun. It's got an interest. I don't think the fighters that are in it doesn't really interest me that much. I think it's pretty cool seeing like Fedor against Frank Mir, even though it's 10 years, 12, 15 years, probably too late of a fight to make. But I think it's fun. The names that they've had in it are okay. I don't think Ryan Bader should have been in it. I think someone like a Czech Congo should have been in there. He must have been pissed when they were making that and he never got invited into it. Saying that he's one of the most boring fighters there is in the sport now, but maybe they're trying to make Brian Bader like a cash cow and give him a couple of belts and so on. But I'll probably look like I'll end up watching some of that. That's the one thing with Bellator over here. We just need a station we can watch on. It's the worst thing in the world trying to watch the fights over here for Bellator on a shitty ass stream as well. So Holly Holm versus Cyborg. I think that fight's close, a lot closer than what people are thinking. I really do. I think it's Cyborg. It's obviously a heavy favourite. I think Holly Holm is very, very live. I think she's got the right kind of game plan that could frustrate Cyborg. Pop, run, 1-2 with a high kick, body kick, and then just get out of the way and try and do that. This is the best fighter I think that Cyborg's ever faced. I think that Holly can, like you said, outbox her. I think she can do that. I think she can use all her strike and all her body parts to win a decision. But she's not going to be slow against Cyborg. I don't believe that for a second. I think Cyborg's lost them a little bit of a pep. If you watch her fights, put it this way, if Tanya Evinger can last 3 rounds with Cyborg, I think Holly Holm can most definitely go 5 at least, in my opinion. And I think she can definitely win rounds off her. There's opportunities to win rounds, but see, everybody's different. This is what I like, Adam. Like you're saying, she's like has no chance. That makes things interesting for me, seeing people say that, because it's hard for me to believe that, but that's what different people. That's what different people see different things in the sport, and that's why you can never really agree with anybody. You've just got to kind of go with your own gut feeling a little bit. That's the worst thing. Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and it's hard when you listen to people that you kind of respect and do a lot of the tape study, and they change your mind a little bit. So you have to be really strong with your mind to stick with your own gut feeling and go with your picks. But so, like, Adam, you think she's going to win, man? When was it? 1st of December now? Yeah, 1st of December over here. Another 4 weeks, come back to me, and you could be telling me I was absolutely wrong, and you were absolutely right, and that's fine. So yeah. Who should James Vick's next opponent be? Mirbek Taisumov. I think James Vick deserves a ranked lightweight, and I don't think too many people are going to be putting their hands up to Mirbek Taisumov, because that means they have to come to Mirbek, because Mirbek can't get into America, so they're going to have to come to his backyard in Europe and fighting here. I'm guessing probably London is where they're going to put Mirbek Taisimov to fight. So they're going to have to come over here. And Mirbek's a beast. He is. I think I'd probably pick James Vick to beat him. But Taisimov is legit, like really legit. So, but that's a fight I hope that they could make. I think both guys deserve to be ranked, to be honest with you. People underestimate Holly's strengths. Holly's just got a good game. She's got the kind of game that I think can beat Cyborg, or at least frustrate Cyborg, and she's not going to go away. If she gets hit with a big shot, obviously, and she goes down, then that could happen. That could happen in the first minute of the fight. It was quite scary when I was over, like I was talking about UFC 189. I went to the Invicta card on the Friday before, and I think it was Faith Van Doen she was against. And it was just, I literally, when I was sat there, and it was like, I just witnessed a murder, pretty much. Or like like somebody getting physically assaulted really badly. So she put up a bit of a beating on Faith Van Doen and put her out in about 40 seconds. But yeah, I think I need to watch more of the fights, and I'll do that over the next 2 weeks or so. And yeah, Premium Oddscast. See, I've never listened to the Premium Oddscast. I've never listened to the MMA Vivisection. Luca, I don't really have much against Luca, but I can't listen to him talk fights too much. Do you think he gets a lot of flack in the MMA community, and some of it I think is rightly so, but the guy gets out there and he makes his money. So yeah, I've got nothing really bad to say against it. Just it's not, everybody's different. You can listen to different ones. I don't listen to as many now as what I used to. I used to have more time for it. Now I have the kid here. I've got work. I work so many hours. I just don't really find the time. So you're lucky if I get a couple of like what's the one I like to listen to, like the Dogger Pass. Dogger Pass one with Cody Saftik and Paul Shag. I like that one. They've got a DraftKings perspective. I watch the DraftKings ones because that's something I'm getting big into now. Is definitely DraftKings. I want to get better at that. It's one of my main goals for 2018 is to try and win some of these bigger tournaments or get close. I have a lot of fun in DraftKings. I think it's something that I really like. I just like the fantasy aspect of it, and how you have to look. You can't go for all favourites. You've got to find those dogs that could potentially win and win big for you. So Nick Kalikis, that's the guy that makes all the odds. I know that. I know who he is. I know who he is. I've never listened to it. But like I like to support some of the guys. I like some of the guys. I like Dan Levy in Half the Battle. He gets a lot of shit as well, but Dan's good. I've met Dan. He's a nice kid. But yeah, just you got to go with your gut, and that's the one thing I've learned. And like maybe 2 years ago, I used to be really bad for changing picks. So I'd give you picks on here, and then I'd go into UFC Fantasy to like just post them, and I'd change my picks. But the last 18 months or so, I've got better at just sticking to that. So, but always go with your gut feeling, especially if you're betting your money. Like that's your money. Go with don't let some other guy influence your pick. Not unless you've got a close friend, like there's people I speak to regarding bets. Like Michael that's on here, like we spoke about Randy Brown, I think it was, and we're both fairly confident in him. But other people are saying Mickey Gall's going to do this and da-da-da. So you've got to go, there's a few certain people I listen to when it comes to betting. I'll listen to their aspects and fights and stuff. But gut picks is what you've got to go. You've got to go with your own gut feelings and see how things go. It is nice, it's nice, to get reassurance from other bets. Kind of like what I was just saying there. But if you hear too many things, it definitely can change your perspective in some things. Like my best bet that I've had this year was from a guy called Rob on Twitter, Rob Brown. He's a good guy, and he threw out the line. I didn't even look at the props because I was staying away from it. But Gregor Gillespie via submission, and it was plus 1400, and I made really good money in it. I didn't even throw that much on, but I didn't have to because the odds were so good. Please stream tomorrow. I am working till I'm supposed to finish at 12 a.m. Saturday morning, but I'll probably most likely 2 a.m. I think the main card starts at, let me see, over here in the UK, 413. So the main card starts at 3 a.m. So if I'm around and I've got enough energy, I'll jump on here and we can talk the fights while the fights are on, and I'll have a little look. But I need to try and do more of this. I like doing this, especially before the fights. But it's just finding the time to do it nowadays. It's something I should have did a few years ago when I had more time. But now with the little one here, it's hard to do it. So yeah. But keep an eye out. Yeah. A YouTube comedian. I'll need to check you out. I'll have a wee look after I'm done with the little one before I go to bed and see what's going on wickedy. That's what I'm saying. It's like I can't believe I was just looking at this. I hit my goal of 1,500 subscribers, which is so awesome. 300,000 views, which is really awesome. For somebody that didn't think they'd even get close to that. And I think it's early January, I hit my 5-year anniversary of making predictions. So that's pretty badass to be sitting around and doing that and looking at some different things, and just it's pretty cool when I go back and watch the early videos and being like super nervous to talk about something that I really loved, and you just got to kind of get yourself used to doing it, and you catch a lot of flack from people. People give you a lot of shit for your picks, but you don't see them going out there and doing it. And I just like talking fights. Literally, I'm in a little bubble at home where I've got a few friends that they know the sport a little, but they're not like 24/7 talking about it, which I am, or looking at news, or like when I'm on break at work, watching fights. So that's why I could literally spend hours speaking to people about the sport. That's why I love going away to fights, whether it be in Vegas, whether it be in Europe, down in England or in Ireland, because you run into fans pretty much like yourself, like majority of yourselves there, that will just talk fights non-stop for hours on end, and that's what I love kind of more than anything. So yeah. Right, guys, I think I'm going to go. I'm going to get this little girl of mine fed so I can get to bed, hopefully before 4 a.m. As I say, if I get a chance, I'll be on tomorrow night for the fights. If not, what I might do is I might try and go on for the main. Depending on what I am drinking alcohol on Saturday for the first time in a long time, so I might be a little bit worse for wear. But I'll try and get on if I can. Okay, so thanks guys for the questions. Thanks for just talking away to me. Enjoy the fights this weekend. If I see you around the next few days, I will see you soon. All right, take care, guys. All the best, and enjoy the fights.